All right, Kelsey, here's a video analysis from your lesson, and I'm comparing you to a player that plays for the University of Alabama. Her name's Whitney Larson, and this was a really good swing that she had in the College World Series. So the biggest problem you had was dropping your hands. And you can see I have you synced up to the same spot here. She's going to take her stride, land on her front toe right there, and her hands are still about at her shoulder height. And if we take a look at you, we're going to start, your hands start right here, which is pretty close to shoulder height. But when you get to the point where you start to swing, your hands dropped all the way to there. They dropped 12, 14 inches or so. And that's bad. You got to fix that, okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's your biggest problem. You have to fix that. And the drill we were working on to fix that is we're going to keep the bat pressing against your shoulder. So the bat is going to be against your shoulder now and now and now and now, and that won't let you drop your hands. And it's still going to be against your shoulder, even now and now and now. And right about here is when it's finally going to come off your shoulder. And that's going to be all the difference in the world. So you have to, for the practice, for the open gyms, for anything that you do from here until the high school season, to ingrain good muscle memory, keep the bat pressed against your shoulder. And the spot, you want it pressed right there. You don't want it on top of the shoulder. You want it pressed against the side of the shoulder. And that's going to help you out a lot. There's two other things that I noticed that I'm going to point out as well. And one is, if you look at Whitney Larson over here from Alabama, her back knee goes down and in, and then she gets up on her front toes. And that back knee coming down and in and coming up on her and being really light on her back foot, that enables her hips to get through the ball. So if you notice, her back elbow is connected to her hip right here, right there, and now everything rotates into the ball. Her hips keep rotating, her shoulders rotate, everything gets connected, and everything rotates into the ball. That's how you get a lot of power. And if you look at you, right, your hips stop rotating about right here. I'll draw a line there. And now all you're doing is just using your arms, your back arm, just to push the bat around. You'll have more than twice as much power into the ball if you learn to get connected and keep everything rotating into the ball. So the three things that are going to happen is, one, your front foot, you're not going to keep any weight on your back foot at all right here. It's going to be nice and light. You can see how nice and light hers is over here on the left. And your back knee is going to come down and in more. And then your elbow and your hip are going to stay connected. Your front elbow is not going to get ahead of your hip. And everything's going to rotate together into the ball. And that's going to lead to a lot more power. And the last position we're going to check is your contact position. And you can see Whitney Larson over here on the left. Really good hitters, they keep this front elbow rotating up and away like that. It's still pointing up and away, the front elbow. It doesn't turn over. And they have what we call the hitter's box. Looks like this. The hitter's box is right here. And that's kind of this front arm and the back arm. And it kind of forms that box right there with the front elbow pointing up and away. That's how you can stay on the plane of the pitch longer and hit better and harder line drives. And if we watch you in the contact, your front elbow is rolling over, and that is going to cause you to not hit the ball as well as someone who has great hitting mechanics. So three things to work on. One is keeping the bat against your shoulder as you start to rotate. It's going to be against your shoulder as you start to swing. Two, everything's going to stay connected, and you're going to rotate all your big muscles into the ball for more power. And three, this front elbow in your hitter's box is going to rotate up and away like that, so you look like the girl on the left and not turn everything over like you did there. So there's three things. We'll keep it simple. You did some things well, too. I mean, the best thing, I think, is your front leg. A lot of girls have a bent front leg, and yours is fine and nice and straight. So just work on those three things as much as you can, and you're going to hit the ball a lot harder. So hope this helps.